Welcome everybody to the podcast Legend Killers. I'm your host Eddie Lynch with the co-host Eddie Enigma. Now, you see, both Eddie and I, we got some merch going on for you. For $25, send us a PayPal donation. We can give you a shirt just like that, and I think you guys will love it. It's very nice, very snazzy, and trust me, it'll help you pick up the ladies. It'll increase your sex appeal by 3%. 3%, it'll increase your sex appeal. So, anyway, not only that, but for $1 alone, you guys can get a shout out to the show. $1 alone, with a nickname of your choice, a name of your choice, don't matter. However you want to be introduced. Hell, if you want to call yourself Brock freaking Lesnar, go ahead. Brock Lesnar donated $1 to the show. Anyway, point being, just get on it. Help us improve this show. Help us grow. Our PayPal is eJose98. eJose, Jose 98. Alright, so Eddie and I, we missed a week. We had to cancel. Unfortunately, I tried to do a little mini podcast on Instagram, but that didn't work out so well. So whatever. Here we are. We're back in the flesh through Zoom. And we're here for you guys. We got a jam-packed episode to get through. Let's talk about Payback, first of all.
Let's talk about it. You know what? Honestly, it was a pretty decent pay-per-view. Better than a lot of past Paybacks, in my opinion. So
probably the best one, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. No, honestly, like, if I'm being completely honest, I think this was the best Payback in terms of entertainment and match quality and just overall enjoyment, you know? Look, and I know that's not saying much given all the other Paybacks. I remember there was one year where the Big Show was in the main event, and the main event ended on a DQ. And here's the thing. I had a very similar rant about that. This is before my podcast. But I had a very similar rant. Nobody likes a match to end in a DQ on a pay-per-view, much less in a main event.
I'll argue that unless you're building a story for an upcoming pay-per-view.
No, not even if you're building a story.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, but do that shit for television. Do that shit on television. We want a definitive winner. I'm sorry, but 2015 was shitty for that year because who
did Big Show fight that year?
Huh?
Who did Big Show fight that year?
2013? I don't know. I believe he was in a feud with Randy Orton. It was something like that.
It had to be Randy Orton or John Cena. If it was 2013, one of the two.
Okay. The Authority had just come together at the time, I believe, and yeah.
With Triple H and Seth Rollins and all that.
No. Seth Rollins didn't come up to the main roster until the year after, I think.
So, who was the Authority that year?
Oh, fuck.
No, you're probably... no, the Authority was with Seth Rollins and Corporate Kane.
Yeah, but that didn't... Seth Rollins didn't join the Authority until 2015.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah, this was 2013. The Authority had just...
Sorry, folks, I wasn't really watching wrestling during those years, so I might be a little rusty.
Yeah. But no, okay. Look, that's not even the point. 2015 had a year full of dusty finishes, right? So no definitive winner. I was sick and tired of it. But even then, even if it wasn't constantly doing that, I would still think that's a pretty lame way to end it. They ended off Hell in a Cell, right? This is a very popular rant of mine. Hell in a Cell 2018 with Seth Rollins and The Fiend, or 2019 with Seth Rollins and The Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
Ended in a DQ. How the fuck are you gonna end a Hell in a Cell match in a DQ?
No, for real. How?
Anyway.
How did that match end then? Why was it a DQ?
It was a DQ. Because Seth Rollins threw a mallet on Bray Wyatt's head while he was covered in steel chairs and a ladder. It's not as bad as it looks.
The Undertaker threw Mick Foley off the top of a fucking cage and then threw it. And then put the man through thumbtacks and he wasn't disqualified. This is why old school wrestling is a lot better, I'm telling you. That's ridiculous. Wow. A DQ and a Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, and that was the main event. And that's why I'm saying dusty finishes on a pay-per-view do not work. And much less on a pay-per-view main event. And much less on a no disqualification match. It's stupid. But look. Let's get down to it. Payback this year was a really good payback. I really enjoyed it. The match opener with Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews thought was really damn good. Was that not the opener?
No, pre-show kickoff. My girls, the Riot Squad, beat the Iconics.
Fuck. Okay, I didn't watch the pre-show, so I don't know.
It counts. I always do. The pre-show sometimes have the better matches.
Really?
Look at Neville and what's his face for the Cruiserweight Championship, and Austin Aries. Neville and Aries.
That was a good match, yeah.
Folks always watch the pre-show. They have some good matches. Sometimes. Not most of the time, but sometimes.
Okay. Fair enough. Watch the pre-show because sometimes they have good matches. Okay. So anyway.
Okay, well, since you didn't watch the match, I'll just fill in for you
Go
here.
ahead.
It was a good match, folks. Riot Squad won. Mm-hmm. And I think this was the build-up to what we'll get into later when it comes to the Iconics. Yes, but all in all, very good match. Very good match. So now we can move on to where you started.
Okay. Sorry. So Bobby Lashley. I was gonna say Bobby Roode. Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews. They had a really damn good match. Although I do want to see that match too. But anyway, Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews. I enjoyed it. Very good big man versus big man match. Even though Apollo Crews isn't often booked like a big man, like he definitely looked really strong here.
I feel like Apollo is a small big man. You know what I'm saying? Like
a
he
short,
has the build.
He's stocky.
He doesn't have the height.
Yeah,
you know,
he's stocky. Kind of like Benoit.
Yeah.
Maybe even I would even lump in Daniel Bryan as one of those people because he's small, but he's
no. Daniel Bryan's not that swole. I'm sorry, he's not that swole.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay,
he's
fine.
not.
What about Neville?
I
would you consider Neville one of those people?
Hell no.
Really?
He's smaller than DB.
What? Have you not seen his physique?
Yes.
He's pretty. Okay.
Okay. In that sense, you might be right. DB has a dad bod now, so.
Okay, now. Well, I haven't really seen it. I don't know. All right, look. Point being, Apollo Crews being booked like a big man here looked very strong against Bobby Lashley. They went back and forth, toe to toe. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed how strong they made him look. They even at one point had Apollo Crews give Bobby Lashley a military press slam. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few times I thought, okay, Apollo Crews might actually have a chance at winning here. But of course, Bobby Lashley prevailed in the end. My only thought on this match, this is my only thought, but honestly, I don't think it would kill WWE if they gave Bobby Lashley the spear as his finisher.
They're not going to do that because Roman Reigns is back, man.
He's on SmackDown, though.
It doesn't matter.
And how many wrestlers have shared finishers?
The only one that's going to get away with doing that nowadays is Edge because he's a legend and a Hall of Famer. They're not going to give Lashley the spear. I'm sorry, Roman's back. That's his move now. And I agree with what you're saying, but I know this is the reason why they're doing that.
I understand, but I mean, what business? Like, it's not like there haven't been wrestlers who've been in the WWE at the same time who have not shared the spear. Goldberg and Edge in 2003.
No, true. But here's the thing. What's wrong with Lashley's moves right now? I like the full Nelson thing. He's big enough to pull it off. He still does the Dominator.
My problem is like, the spear is explosive. The spear is a move that I'll buy, and I'm like, oh shit, you know that hurt. And I'm not saying that the full Lashley isn't gonna like look painful. I'm not saying that. But like, in terms of what's more like aesthetically pleasing to see, seeing someone get the shit knocked out of them.
See what you're saying, and if they had them still do it, not as a signature or a finishing move, that'd be sick. But I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Roman's back.
No,
That's his move.
Yeah,
but I totally agree with what you're saying. A man Lashley's size, hell yeah.
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
look sick. And you would believe it would hurt a person.
Yeah. And see, like, I know it's wishful thinking. But, like, my whole thing is, like, there's no reason to not give it to him. That's just my opinion. Personally, and that's what I came off thinking when I watched the finish of the match, because it's like, Batista has shared his powerbomb with Kevin Nash, with The Undertaker, with how many people who use the powerbomb in different variations.
Oh,
you know
more
what I mean?
than that. I mean, we're talking... Yes. Every big man. Sid Vicious, Big Van Vader.
Oh, no, I'm talking about people on the same roster.
No, I'm just talking about people in general that have used that.
Okay. But yeah, see, like,
It's a typical big man move, so it depends on the big man, I guess, when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
But plenty of big men have used the powerbomb, especially as a finishing move.
Yeah, and how many people do the frog splash as a finisher? How many people do a super kick? How many people do cross faces? You know, it's just...
Okay, well, everyone does the super kick. It may not be as a finishing move, but everyone does the super kick. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's fair. But anyway, look, my point being is, I think Bobby Lashley, it wouldn't hurt if he had the spear. Just my opinion. I don't really care much for the full Lashley. I didn't care for that the standing suplex that they did as a finisher. I didn't care for that spinebuster variant that they had. Not the Dominator, the one where the move he injured Sami Zayn on, where he picked him up and then slammed him down. I didn't care for that.
He actually did that to Apollo Crews.
But not as a finisher.
On
not
Payback.
As a finisher.
Dude, it was a sick spot. It wasn't a finisher, but it was a sick spot. And a sick move. Very sick.
Yeah.
So he still does that. I wouldn't buy that as a finisher per se.
Yeah.
But I can buy that as a setup. Yeah.
Yeah, as a power move, yeah, hell yeah. You know, it's like think about it like this. Like, if Goldberg had, like, instead of the spear, let's say he had like a military press slam. You know it's gonna hurt like hell, and you know, like, as a regular power move, it's gonna hurt like hell. But as a finisher, I wouldn't take that. You know? Yeah.
Right.
But okay. Yeah, that's the only thing I came away thinking of this match as far as criticisms go. Another thing is, like, okay, not a super big deal given how Apollo Crews has been booked over the years. But I said this when he faced Samoa Joe, and I'll say this again when he faces Bobby Lashley. A guy like Apollo Crews, I don't think should be tapping out. He's a big man.
No.
He's a strong man. I don't like the idea of him tapping out. I'd rather he. Well,
and the thing is, he tapped out quick.
Yes, that too.
Like, very quick. Yeah.
I think he's better off selling the move. But at the same time, okay, for the finish where they had Apollo Crews attacking Bobby Lashley, I get it. But at the same time, now I'm constantly fighting myself here. I'm sorry. Rebuttal against rebuttal. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, and this is how you can tell it's unplanned because I'm just going all over the place. But Apollo Crews, you know, attacking Bobby Lashley from behind, you could save that for Monday Night Raw. You know, it did not need to happen right then and there. Right. So, yeah, that's my only two nitpicks. Otherwise, very good match, very fun back and forth. I enjoyed every single minute of it. I was very engaged. I was pleased. All right, sorry, Eddie, I deferred to you now.
Honestly, I thought it was a really good match. My only gripe was I don't think Apollo should have lost just yet.
Yeah.
Um,
The United
I
States
feel,
title?
yeah, I mean, I feel like they could have made him a lot stronger, as well as the Hurt Business. I understand the decision behind. They're building up the Hurt Business. They want all the gold. I get it, but you could have used this feud to build Apollo up as a very credible United States champion.
Yeah.
I would have waited at least another 2 or 3 months before I had him drop it, because then it would have had a bigger wow factor. Like, or gave the Hurt Business that bigger edge as a heel stable. Like, oh my God, I hate them. But I hope going the opposite direction, they're gonna build up Apollo as that hero that takes down the Hurt Business and reclaims the U.S. title.
Yeah. Honestly,
but aside from that, that's my only gripe with it. Like, the match was good. It was really good.
Yeah, really good match.
Yeah, a lot better than I would have expected. So,
I think my thinking is like, the Hurt Business should be aiming for the world title. Like that's just they went from having Bobby Lashley feud for the WWE title to the United States title. That just feels like a step back a little bit.
Right. So now in my eyes, you either have Lashley not being necessarily the leader, but being the one going for the heavyweight title, And now they have a fourth member, so it's like, what's the hierarchy here? Well, we know MVP's in charge, but I think he's not wrestling full time.
Yeah. And
so seeing him go for the heavyweight title wouldn't make a lot of sense. So Lashley should be in that role.
Yeah.
Shelton should be in the role of going for the United States Championship.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah. That's just the hierarchy I see in this, especially now with Cedric Alexander being a part of it. So he can go for the Cruiserweight. I mean, that adds something to it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the Cruiserweight title...
Don't start that Sleepy Eddie shit already. We're like 10 minutes in. People, Sleepy Eddie is worse than a drunk Eddie or a high Eddie or anything. Like, Sleepy Eddie,
we're 20 minutes in.
Correction. 20 minutes in.
Oh, man.
No excuse. No excuse.
Well, I'm correcting you. But okay,
It should be interesting how this plays out with the Hurt Business. I like where it's going. But I mean, if MVP's not going to wrestle full time, maybe him and Lashley should maybe switch places, or him and Shelton.
Well, the thing is, I like it. Though I like the way they have it set up, whereas Lashley's the mouthpiece, or sorry, MVP's the mouthpiece, Lashley's the muscle, and Cedric and
Shelton are the
yeah.
Well, I'm calling Shelton and Cedric to go into the tag team division at this point.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that though. Like if you have a thing where like they win the,
I wouldn't either.
Where they win the tag titles, I'm like, yeah, go for it. You know what?
Yeah.
They should be a tag team, quite frankly. I'd be up for that.
That's what I'm predicting at this point. I mean, Lashley already took over the mid card. Don't do it. Don't do it.
But yeah. Now, honestly, like, I think that would work personally. What was I gonna tell you?
I don't know. If you were Sleepy, maybe you'd know.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, good match, fun stuff. Let's get on to the next match.
Sheamus and Big E.
Ooh, this was also a good match.
This was a really good match.
I really enjoyed it, yeah. I thought, personally, I enjoyed the back and forth. I like how, I like how, it seemed like, Sheamus had, for the most part, the momentum most of the match. And then Big E, eventually clapped him. He eventually, countered him, and he beat him with a big ending. Personally, I was enjoying that stretch muffler finish. Now, see, with Big E, I can sell him, or I can buy him winning this winning with a stretch muffler submission, because I know that shit's gonna hurt like a bitch. And honestly, I just that to me is fine. Bobby Lashley, he needs an explosive. He needs something explosive. Big E, he has the big ending, and I don't really care much for that finisher. Not saying it's a bad finisher, not saying he's a bad wrestler, but, the stretch muffler's working for him.
This is one of the rare times I can agree with you. Yeah, Lashley needs a more impactful move.
Mm-hmm.
A submission, I mean, it would work, but yeah, impactful for the way he is, yes. Big E, with him being a little bit shorter, but still stocky, I can see, yeah, the submission working for him. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. So, I'll say that much. But honestly, a guy like Sheamus tapping, I know WWE likes to really protect Sheamus. Like, nobody's ever kicked out of the Brogue Kick, and Sheamus has 0 career tap outs, to my knowledge, in WWE. So, yeah.
I might go back and check on that, but you might be right, yeah.
Yeah. The only time he's ever lost by submission was in this is just all I know. He lost in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Well, he lost one fall to Daniel Bryan in 2012, but he didn't even tap. I was
gonna say, didn't he tap out? Okay.
He didn't tap. He passed out.
He passed out. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think Daniel Bryan tapped him out, but okay, it was a pass out. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, I don't recall Sheamus ever tapping out. And to my knowledge, from what I've read and stuff, Sheamus doesn't really have any career tap outs. That's just to my knowledge. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. What's it called? So yeah, honestly though, other than that, I'll say good match, enjoyed it. Yeah, no real complaints from me here.
Mm-hmm. They pulled it off great.
Yeah.
And they're building up Big E really good.
Yeah.
And I think working with Sheamus helped it out a lot. So.
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I would have picked Big E.
Yep, and that's a win for me.
As I do every show.
Man. Let's see. By the way,
next one.
Who's Cruiserweight champion right now? Is it still Oregano del
yeah, homeboy from Lasagna del Fantastico.
Okay. Yeah.
Santos Escobar.
Oh, Eric
yes.
Escobar. Oh man, he's a forgotten WWE wrestler from the 2010s. I don't know if you remember him, Eric Escobar.
No,
Escobar.
I don't.
He was with WWE for about like maybe a month or two. Turned babyface really quickly, and then after like 2 days, he got released. 2 days after his babyface run, something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember him. Sorry, Eric Escobar.
Eric Escobar.
Well, now we have Santos Escobar.
Who?
Santos Escobar.
Who's Santos Escobar?
The Cruiserweight champion, fool.
Oh, Dave Lagana del
yes,
Felipe.
Lasagna de Fantasmic.
Okay. Jordan the Wrestling Fanatic. Got it.
The shade you're throwing tonight. I love it. The shade.
Not towards Jordan the Wrestling Fanatic. I got love for him. Just towards what's his face? Felipe del Facefucker. Tom Phillips del Facefuck.
I should be telling all these different names you come up with. You'd probably be at like 27 right now.
Honestly. I had one earlier on the way home. Man.
You should have called or texted me when you had it in your head.
It was Oregano del Ledesma, something like that. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I know I said the oregano one earlier, but
yes.
that was a different last name. This was Ledesma. Anyway, not even important. Let's get on to the next match.
That will be King Corbin versus Matt Riddle.
Okay. This is where you kind of lose me. I'm not a fan of Matt Riddle. I've made this known. I'm not a fan of King Corbin. I've also made this known. These two together in a very boring program does not excite me. However, somehow I was shocked, and to my delight, this was actually an okay match. Not a good match, not a great match, an okay match.
It was watchable.
It was watchable, you know. But honestly, like, nothing I'm going to write home to. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't got much to say on it.
What I have to say is pretty much what you have to say about these two. I'm not a big fan of Matt Riddle. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not a big fan of Matt Riddle. I'm just... he doesn't pull it off for me. King Corbin, I used to be a Baron Corbin fan. Now he's just gotten boring to me. And I just see him as that guy that's going to enhance other talent. And I think he will be good in that role. But yeah, the match was okay to watch. It was fine. I mean, Matt Riddle's one of my picks. It's probably the only reason why I'm rooting for him, but I'm not blown away like everybody else is by it.
You got a point for that, right?
I did. Oh, no, I got 5. It was a pay-per-view. Yes.
That's right. I'm sorry. I got to remember these gimmicks. Let's see.
Yes. That's what I'm here for. Don't worry.
Thank you. He's our points guy. Let me see.
I am.
I'm going to look at the rosters really quickly just to make sure I got everything. All right, cool. I'm just trying to keep up with our roster since there's so many names. All right. Okay, what's the next match?
Ooh, women's tag team title match. Sasha and Bailey versus Shayna and Nia.
Okay, I had to miss this match, so I'm sorry. Can you fill us in on this
Shame.
match?
It actually wasn't a bad match. I actually didn't see Shayna and Nia winning it with what their story is going on right now on television. But they won. And now it makes sense to me because they're setting up the whole Sasha Bailey feud. So, you know, Sasha just came off of losing the Raw title to Asuka. Now she lost her tag team championship. So, and we'll probably get into this a little bit later. But this is why I thought Sasha was going to turn on Bailey. So, I mean, but all in all, it was a fun match to watch. It wasn't a bad match.
Yeah.
Yeah, with everybody involved, it wasn't a bad match. I didn't see the outcome coming. Honestly, I really didn't. I thought another team would take the belts off of them, but hey.
Yeah, see, I didn't expect the titles to change hands with a makeshift team like Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. That's the only reason I haven't gone back to watch this match that I missed. And because, like, honestly, like, once I heard the results, I'm like, okay, I already know I'm gonna, like, not really engage as much since the result is spoiled for me. And especially since I don't care much for Shayna Baszler or Nia Jax. My thinking is, like, you know, if they're gonna lose the titles, they might as well lose it to someone who's already a team. You know, why you have Liv Morgan defeating Shayna Baszler on Raw while Nia Jax is heckling her, I have no idea. We're not gonna talk about it because it's just so insignificant. I don't know. I just there could be better TV, you know. I'm not a fan of these two personally. I preferred this whole team heckling stuff when it was Angle and Benoit, Sheamus and Cesaro. They were both that good, like, you know,
exactly.
Two strong personalities butting heads. This one I don't care much for, but whatever. I don't know. Somebody will enjoy it.
I mean, like I said, you know me and my 10 stars. Out of 10 stars, I give it a 5.
Okay, that's an F. All right. I don't know. I didn't see the match. I couldn't tell you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. I'll give the ladies that. It wasn't terrible.
Okay. What's the next match?
Keith Lee and Randy Orton.
Okay, here we go. I enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed this. You know, I'm not always the biggest fan of slow-paced matches, but I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it very much.
And why? I'm curious.
Look, Keith Lee had a lot of offense in on this match, and Randy Orton, like, when Randy Orton, he has the same talent that Brock Lesnar has. He can give you an ass kicking, and he'll make it like, and if he's the one who's supposed to be selling, he'll make it look like he took an ass kicking. Like, it's the same thing with Randy. He will give you an ass kicking in the match if he's supposed to, but if he's supposed to be selling, he's going to make it look like he took an ass kicking. You know? And Randy Orton sold really well for Keith Lee. Keith Lee looked like a damn strong guy in that match. And as he should be. I mean, he took it to Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble earlier. He freaking damn near beat Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. He defeated Seth Rollins. Like, this is a man that should absolutely be booked the way that he was booked here at Survivor Series. At Payback. I don't care if it was slow paced, because personally, all this was telling the story to was Keith Lee's performance. That's all this was for. And then Keith Lee wins cleanly off of Randy Orton. He sold that spirit bomb like a champ.
He did. That was sick. Yes.
Yes. And I was just, bad music aside, great showcasing for Keith Lee. Now, I will say this one joke. We saw his entrance attire. I caught it off of Quincy Jones posting it. And I laughed because he reminded me of, like, some sort of a villain you would see off of Lilo and Stitch, his entrance attire. It was just so, I don't know. It was so colorful. Very green. But yeah.
That's not his fault. And you know what? He's actually commented on that.
Yeah.
I was seeing on social media about his music and his skirt.
Okay, I'll prefer the Payback attire to the skirt any day. He did not need the damn skirt. The Payback
Here's the
attire...
thing, people. If you don't really understand the wrestling business, this is not his fault. It is not his choice.
Yeah.
He is working for somebody who is asking him to do something. So he's doing it. I get it. Yeah. The skirt, though, no. That
was absolutely unnecessary.
Apparently, there were shorts, but it just looked like a skirt. But I don't know. It was pretty skirtish to me.
Yeah, it was pretty skirtish to me. By the way, oh, that's funny. Okay, so check this out. I was actually going to look up and see if he is still wearing the top attire vest, but I found something even better. So Josiah Williams, do you know who that is?
Yes.
Okay. Do you?
Yes.
Oh, who is he?
No.
Thought so. Okay. I already had an idea. Okay. So listen, he's a guy who on YouTube he makes theme songs, and he also raps to lyrics of WWE theme songs. And so you might have noticed during one of Adam Cole's entrances on NXT, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a man who was rapping alongside to Adam Cole's theme song. Yeah. One of his NXT entrances. Maybe I'll show you the video. That was him. He's part of a label called Wrestle and Flow. You should look them up. It's pretty cool. Well, anyway, I guess he is now working for WWE NXT. I don't know. Which is cool.
Oh, he replaced the other. Okay. No, I have heard of him. No. Well, yeah.
I don't know if he is. It seems like he is.
No, he replaced whoever was doing the music before. I forgot who it was.
Yeah. But then Keith Lee says, "Welcome back, brother." Brother. The old Iron Sheik. Welcome back, brother.
Okay, I take that back. I didn't lie. I have heard of him. Yeah, because he replaced whoever was doing the music before, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. So here you go. Sent it to you. Well, anyway, point being, he told Josiah Williams, "Tell them to make me a new theme song." Perfect. But yeah.
Should I ask somebody else?
Yeah. Okay, so the only thing, like, I'll say, I'm glad they gave him, like, his actual tights back. This whole shirt vest, I don't care. That's fine, I don't care. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
You're not. You're fine.
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't matter what the man wears. I'll still be a fan of him. He's doing great. I mean,
so you're telling me if he's wearing a tutu, it wouldn't matter?
It wouldn't.
Really?
It would just make me laugh. I mean, the guy's athletic, especially for a man his size, so it's fine.
Okay, what if he was wearing a thong? Would it matter?
That'd be gross. Yeah, that would matter.
That would matter?
But actually, no, it wouldn't. Because you know what?
Really?
Rikishi pretty much wore one.
Really?
And I love me some Rikishi. So you know what? Keith Lee thong it out, baby. Yes.
Okay.
Rikishi wore one, and he was putting his booty in people's faces. So.
Okay, what if he was wearing nothing but the thong? And I'm not talking about like a big thong where it's like you just see. No, I'm talking like a skinny, thin, like line thin thong. Would it matter then?
I mean, yeah.
And
I mean, no, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
Wrestling well. I mean, there it is.
It wouldn't.
I hope your character matches it.
It wouldn't with his cock and bollocks hanging out?
I mean, we've seen it before.
What have we seen before?
With Goldust, we've seen it.
When the hell did Goldust have his dick hanging out?
See, this is why you need to be a classic wrestling fan, Ed. WrestleMania 12, when Roddy Piper stripped.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know no more.
Okay, yeah.
I don't care how much of a classic wrestling fan you are. I don't want to know.
It's been done before. So, I mean, whatever. If it matches what... hey, at the end of the day, it's all about wrestling, so...
Okay, so what if he was wearing, like, what if he was wearing, like, ballerina clothes?
If he was whooping ass, I guess I'd buy it.
Really? What about if he was wearing, like, a...
Look at all of the things we've bought in the past with some of these people. I mean, it's... When it comes to wrestling, it really doesn't faze me. I've seen almost everything in wrestling when it comes to people and characters and what they wear.
What if he was dressed like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz?
That'd be fine.
Really? Okay.
We had beaver cleavage. I mean, we had all kinds of crazy shit back in the day.
Okay, what if he was like Isaac Yankem?
That's fine, because we've had an Isaac Yankem.
Really? I mean, if he's named Isaac Yankem number 2?
Why not? If you can make it work. Here's the thing with Isaac Yankem. I was a kid, so for me that worked.
Okay.
So that could work for another kid today.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to see where your limit is.
Here's the thing when it comes to outfits, Ed. If it matches the character and what's going on, and they make it work, it works.
All right.
And the one wrestler that got me to think like this was Goldust. Sorry. He blew my mind when he first came on the scene. And that was back in 95. I was still a kid.
What if he came out wearing China's attire?
Which attire?
The one you remember.
I remember all of them. So
okay,
in that case, any of them, that's fine.
Okay. What if he came back wearing... What if he came back wearing...
Try your hardest. You can't break me on this.
I don't know. Alright, I'm done messing around.
What about Sable's attire from God, I forgot the pay-per-view, but it was back in 98, I believe. Fully Loaded, I want to say, when she had the bikini contest against Jack. I want to say that was Fully Loaded 98, and that was when Sable had the hand pasties over her nipples and a G-string, pretty much.
Okay, for me personally, look, I think Keith Lee needs to look like a badass. Because otherwise it's not a push for Keith Lee, it's just a burial for whoever loses to Keith Lee.
I think Keith Lee is fine in the gear he was in originally.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Or if you don't stop. Or you can throw some pants on the man. If you don't, put him in the G-string. You did it to Rikishi. I mean, hashtag bring back the stink face. Like,
Rikishi
it's
was
all
not
good.
World champion though.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I wouldn't want to see.
It doesn't matter. He's still a Hall of Famer. My man has his Hall of Fame ring from wearing a G-string and putting his ass in people's faces for years.
Fair enough. But yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's move
on. Next one. Tag team match. It was Rollins and Murphy against the Mysterios.
Good match.
Yes.
I enjoyed
Very good match, but I really wish they would put this feud to bed.
Yeah, I think it's more than time to move on. At this point, based on what I've seen from Raw, it's time to start building Seth Rollins versus Buddy Murphy. You know, I think it has been long enough for this match to go. And with the way the story's naturally telling, Seth Rollins is now disappointed in Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy just got bitched out and bludgeoned by the Mysterio family. It's time to move on from that now.
It really is.
Yeah, give Dominik Mysterio something else. Give him something else to worry about. Let him feud with someone else. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Hell, have him feud against the Hurt Business. I don't care. But
no, I'm glad you brought this up because, like, what I would do is have Dominik and his dad team up for a minute, and then Dominik ultimately turn on Ray. And that could be Ray's swan song. He hands the torch to his son, and then his son starts his career. That's how I would do it.
Well, I don't think you necessarily have to have Dominik turn heel. Maybe you could.
I would. I'm sorry. I would.
But I just don't see the necessity in it. I think what you could do...
The necessity is turning him heel, I think is going to get him a bigger fan base. So that way, when you turn him back face, he's a solid superstar.
Okay.
He just started his career. So, I mean, without Ray, I don't see much happening for him. Unless they build a program with him. Ray needs to pass that torch to his son. And I think Dominik will have a decent career.
Yes, but you could still achieve that without turning him heel.
How?
Okay, here's what you do. Listen, you have Dominik win a couple matches on his own.
Which we know he's going to, but okay.
Okay. Next thing, here's what you're gonna do. Here's what you're gonna do. You have a few wrestlers get fed to Dominik for a little bit, and then you have Rey Mysterio challenge Dominik. Hey, you're a man. I've seen you grow up. I have raised you myself. And you just have this very impassioned promo, right? I am ready. I have one last request of you. I want to wrestle you at the next pay-per-view, whatever that pay-per-view might be. All right? I have seen you grow before my very eyes, not just as a wrestler, but as a man. And I want to see what my child can do against his father as a man. I want to see how well you can, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever you want Ray to say.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, Ray wants to challenge Dominik. Ray wants to see what Dominik is made of. You put that... Okay, you have the match. You're building that storyline. Dominik is a little reluctant at first. And Ray is just giving it to him. Like telling him to be a man, shape up, and face him. You know. Now, come match time, the story you want to tell with this match is, they're going back and forth. They're constantly... they're going back and forth technically, whereas there's not really much damage being applied with the exception of Rey Mysterio applying offense to Dominik. Dominik, eventually he's had enough. He goes back and he starts bringing offense to Rey Mysterio. Now they start having a good match. They go back and forth. Now, final ending of the match, Dominik gives Rey Mysterio the 619, and then West Coast Pop, Senton, drop the dime. I don't care. But either way, Dominik pins Rey Mysterio 1, 2, 3. After the match, they both embrace, raise each other's hands. Rey Mysterio just retired, passed the torch on to Dominik. Dominik is now an established babyface, a cemented superstar who quite literally just defeated his father and is now making his own name, trailblazing his own path. And Rey Mysterio the next night, Dominik, you did it. I'm so proud of you. All the classic fatherisms. Now it's time for you to venture your path alone. And there you go. That's Rey Mysterio's role exit. Thus now you have Dominik face off against whoever. That's what I would do.
I actually like everything you just said. I would just change the ending.
Really?
Yeah. I like everything you just said. I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. I would have Dominik still win, but turn heel. I feel like Dominik needs to be a heel. Now, here's one thing in the wrestling. We have never seen Rey Mysterio be a heel. Ever. Ever. This will be a new start to the Mysterio legacy, I guess. So, yeah, I say Dominik should go over Rey. Even set up exactly just the way you said, but Dominik doesn't win cleanly. He wins by cheating. And then that next night on Raw, he gives that speech. Dominik kicks him in the dick, whatever, boom, bye. Rey still passes the torch. He retires, sets up Dominik as a solid heel. That's just how I would do it. And mainly because, you guys, I'm biased towards heels. I love the bad guys. I always have. I've always rooted for them. I love the bad guys. I like Dominik, and I think Dominik would have a much better career if he was a heel. I think he'd get much better traction. There's never been a heel Mysterio, and I think he would pull it off. And he's also the first Mysterio to wrestle without even using a mask. So it would just work. It would work. It would be gold. But that's just my opinion. and my bias towards heels. That's just me. But everything you said, I actually love. Like, that would be perfect. Even without training him a heel, I can still buy what you just said with that story.
Okay. Now, listen, I hear you. I do like your input, and I know you're biased towards the Razor Ramones of wrestling. But no, what's it called?
And here's the thing. We've never had a storyline where a son turned on a father that I can recollect.
Well, Charlotte turned on Ric Flair.
I thought about that one, but it doesn't count. Charlotte and Rick never really wrestled each other either. So it wouldn't have the same impact.
Okay.
And please, did we all really buy that? Okay, yeah, she turned on him, but we're like, that's your daddy, girl. You know, like, and the same thing maybe with Ray and Dominik, but the way you set the story up, it's wrestling. We've seen what they've done with brothers in the past. So, but father-son, we've never seen it that deep. You can make this really deep.
Okay.
And especially if you add it to Ray's swan song, dude, that'd be the perfect ending for Ray. And I'll just say this. If I were a wrestler right now and I was in Ray's shoes and that was my son, that's the way I'd want to pass the torch, to be honest with you. Because ultimately, I think it would just help him. I see what you're saying with the whole face ending and everything. I just think it'd be more impactful if it happened with Dominik turning heel. That's it. We all know he's going to be a face again eventually. But for his initial jump off, I think he should be heel. He already started his face, but for his big initial jump off push, turn the boy heel. Again, just my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Yes. Okay. And like I was saying, I hear you. But now, in my opinion, I think down the line he will be a heel. Just, I don't see it happening quite yet. And I think, personally for me, it'd be a little early. I would have him be a face right now. You know, and have him cement himself, right? He's cemented as a Mysterio. You know what I mean? This prideful Mysterio. Having him turn heel right now would be... it would be a little premature.
I don't think so, because he's starting a new Mysterio legacy.
Yeah.
This is a new Mysterio legacy. If Ray is going out, this is a new Mysterio. He doesn't have to follow the path as his father and grandfather.
No, I'm not saying that.
Or wait, no, it wasn't Ray's father, right? It was his uncle. His uncle, yeah. But
but no. I'm not saying that he has to. I'm saying just...
I just think it would keep the Mysterio legacy more interesting. I mean, I understand what you're saying is too early, but I don't think it is. Because here's the thing. I think if you wait until it's too late, he's going to fall by the wayside like Sami Zayn. No disrespect to Sami Zayn, but when they made him heel, I thought that was a little bit too late. If you'd have done that sooner, it would have been a lot cooler.
To be honest...
when it happened, it was cool. It was cool. And I'm enjoying it now, but I don't think it's too soon for Dominik. I really don't. I don't.
To be honest, I prefer babyface Sammy to heel Sammy. I'm just saying.
I don't. I like heel Sammy. I'm sorry,
but
that's my heel bias. I'm sorry, but heel Sammy is a lot more entertaining.
Okay, yes, that's your bias.
A lot
but
more.
Here's why I prefer babyface Sammy. Right? It's a lot harder to be a face than a heel. Right? Sammy is a rare kind of breed who can actually believably, in my opinion, pull a babyface better than he can as a heel. In my opinion, he has the promos, he has the general appearance of a good guy. He can honestly, like, you know, in real life, he's a good guy. And when you have that...
I'm trying to soak this in, man.
You have all these good traits about him. Like, not too many people seem like not too many people are that white bread babyface and can make it work. Kevin Owens, you know, he's an okay face, but he's a much better
heel.
Yeah, much better heel. Samoa Joe, same thing. Okay face, much better heel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Adam Cole, I've never seen him as a face, but he'd probably be a much better heel. You know?
Is he technically a face?
Well, he's
now?
technically a face right now. Yes,
But
I
to
think,
me, he seems the same. But technically, he's supposed to be a face, right?
yes, I believe so.
Okay.
But see, now, if you're the same as you are when you're a heel, then you're not really a good face. You're just getting cheered. That's it.
Well, bringing it back to Sammy, I feel 50-50 on that. I feel like he can pull off heel or face.
Okay, yes.
Right down the middle.
Yes.
But I just think I prefer his heel better than his face.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe he pulls off both 50-50.
Yes.
And that's also a rare breed.
Yes. And now what I'm saying is, like, I personally enjoy both. But if I had to pick in terms of, like, you know, he's a good, passionate man in real life. And just seeing the promos that I've seen him cut as a face, you know, I'm sorry, but he's a guy who can easily get the crowd on his side. He's a guy who can easily just make you believe this guy wants nothing but the best for you. It's just, you know, he's an underdog. He's a guy you want to root for. And I like that trait. I like that, personally. I grew up having a bit more of a bias towards the good guys, I'll admit. But
and see, that's where we're different.
No.
Yeah.
See, okay, yes, that's where we're different, but that's not what's holding me back. I'm just saying.
I know.
I think personally, I would keep Sami Zayn as a babyface because he's just that good at it. Not too many people are. Jericho, who's a 30-year veteran, you know, he's a good,
much better heel.
Much better heel. He's a good babyface, not a great babyface.
Much better heel.
Sami Zayn.
Now you're talking about my favorite wrestler right here. Jericho is a much better heel. Hands down. If I had a choice to choose between face Jericho or heel Jericho, it's heel Jericho all day, every day, all night, all year.
And there's not too many people who I can say that are great baby faces. Like I don't
like Jericho as a face, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like with Sammy, I'll give 50-50. I'll enjoy him either way.
Yeah.
Jericho, no, he needs to be a heel. With Sammy, I just prefer him to be a heel. But everything you just said about him, as far as being a face, 100%, I agree with you with.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. I just prefer him as a heel, but as a face, what you said is absolutely right. So I can see that.
Yes, and that's personally why I didn't like him turning heel to begin with. But I turned around because I saw, okay, they're not actually forgetting him. They're actually showcasing him, and he's actually doing really well as a heel.
Well, and for me, we got to see a different side of him, so to me, it made him a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
And, like, being more heel biased, I'm like, dude, this is great. When him and KO were teaming up, I'm like, this is some of the funniest stuff I've seen ever.
Yeah.
And the matches they were having were good, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we'll agree to disagree on wanting Sammy as a face or a heel. But I see what you're saying as far as face value. Like, I guess Sammy's that unicorn where he can do both to perfection.
Yeah.
It's just up to you if you're a babyface fan or a heel fan. But either way, WWE, no, you have an asset there because he can do one or the other. And to perfection.
Yeah, so, and there's not too many people who can do it well. I can maybe list like a few people who are great baby faces, you know, as well as great heels. You know,
the other one that came up off the top of my head, a few, they're legends. Booker T, I think, is one that could do both very well. The Rock, I think, one that could do both very well. Stone Cold Steve Austin is one that can do both very well.
Yeah.
Shit, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Okay,
it's funny.
I'll disagree. I don't know.
What?
He's a much better heel than he is a babyface. I think.
I mean,
he's a good babyface.
Yeah, hold on, I'm trying to think. I'm going back to the 90s right now. Hold on.
We'll look back at 2004 too.
Okay, I'm gonna renege Shawn Michaels from that. Actually, he's a much better heel than a face. So the others I mentioned, Stone Cold, The Rock, Booker T, Bret Hart. Those are great people that are right down the middle to play either one. And Bret Hart surprised me because he was always the baby face. And then when that whole switch happened, in like late 96, going into 97, when he became the heel, like he pulled that shit off, even when he didn't want to.
Yeah.
So
Undertaker's another name that comes to mind. CM Punk.
True.
Christian.
True. Yeah, CM Punk.
Christian.
Yeah, Christian. Edge,
yes. Like, these are, like, and this is not a bad list of people to
it's
be
not.
lumped in with.
You know what is funny? What is pointing out to me is in this current generation, the only one name we have mentioned is Sami Zayn. That's the only one that can pull off both.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think on the current roster who can do that.
Well, okay. Okay, I would like to name Apollo Crews, but we haven't really seen heel Apollo Crews, so I won't.
No.
But no. He is a good baby face. I like him.
What about Seth? Because honestly, I think Seth is better as a heel than he is as a face.
Yeah. I won't add him. Dean Ambrose, I thought he could pull off both.
He was boring as both, but okay, yeah, sure.
Well, that's not his fault, as you would say. But
are we
going? Let's see here.
Oh, Ric Flair. I forgot about him. He could pull off both.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
Macho Man Randy Savage can pull off both.
Macho Man.
Hulk Hogan obviously can pull off both.
Drew McIntyre. I think of the current roster, I think he pulls off both really well. I like babyface Drew.
I don't.
Have you seen him in NXT?
Yes. Yeah, before he got called up the second time. Yes. No, I prefer heel Drew. I don't like babyface Drew. I'll be honest. Okay. Everything going on right now, I'm a fan of Drew, but I don't like he's boring to me as a face. Because I'm used to him being a heel. He's a badass heel.
But see, I like face because like he's a badass who like just doesn't back down from anybody. And that's what I like. Like, he's like, be a man. Like, he's the type of guy who would call out Brock Lesnar. And
he was the same as a heel, though. But to me, it was a lot cooler. He was the same exact as a heel.
As a heel, he ran away from The Undertaker.
Well, I would, too.
With Shane McMahon backing him.
It's The Undertaker. I'd run, too. I don't give a shit. I could be John Cena and still run. It's The Undertaker. Man.
Okay, but as a babyface, he's freaking challenging Brock fucking Lesnar, who's twice his size, younger than Undertaker, and stronger than Undertaker. I'm sorry, but who do you think would fuck you up more in a fight? Between Undertaker and Brock Lesnar.
Honestly, Brock Lesnar.
Yes, exactly. And babyface Drew is not backing down from Brock Lesnar, much less The Undertaker. Heel Drew, he's going to be backing down from both. He backed down from The Undertaker. What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis?
Let's go back to when Drew returned and started teaming with the best, Dolph Ziggler. No. I don't think that Drew McIntyre would have backed down from The Undertaker.
He did!
Oh, is that what he did?
Yes! He backed down from The Undertaker with Shane McMahon.
I'm gonna shut up for a sec, folks. I'm sorry.
He did!
Okay, whatevs. Point is, Drew McIntyre is boring as a face.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, we'll scratch him. Who on the main roster can pull off both really well, other than Sami Zayn? What do you think of AJ Styles? He's a name that comes to mind.
Yes. I believe he can. Yes, yeah. He's actually done so. Yes. So yes.
Okay. No, I wouldn't add Charlotte Flair. I thought about it, but no.
No, she's better as a heel.
Yeah, And see, like,
yeah.
I'm not talking about character-wise. I'm talking about in terms of, like, how the fans have reacted to her. I don't... Look, honestly, like...
See, you can't do that. You can't include fan reactions. No, I think
Well, why not?
No. Fans react opposite most of the time to the way I react. You can't figure that in. It's what works best for the character. Charlotte Flair's character works best as a heel, more than a face.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, listen.
And that's why people hate her, because she does her job right. Well, they hate her for other reasons, but she does her job right. And the one thing people can't deny is she has that talent. I'm sorry. No. You can't judge this off of the way fans... No.
Okay, but listen to me. Listen to
You're killing me, Smalls. Oh.
Okay, listen, Linda. Listen. Listen, Linda. Listen. Just hear me out here. I'm not going off of just... Here's the thing. Here's the thing with babyface Charlotte.
No wonder you think Drew's better as a babyface. You're going off the fans.
No, I'm not. I'm going off of what I've seen. Here's my issue. This is what I mean when I'm bringing up the fan reaction. Every time Charlotte tries to turn face, it is hard to suspend my disbelief that she's a good person when she is constantly being booed and constantly... The same issue with Roman Reigns. It's hard to take her serious as a babyface when nobody fucking likes her. That's why.
People like her. They just like to hate her.
Really?
There's a difference.
People are constantly calling her overrated.
There's still Charlotte fans, though.
I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying there's not.
No, I'm saying they are still Charlotte fans. They love to hate her. Now, you have your true haters. Majority love to hate her because she does her job right. So, of course, they're going to boo when she's supposed to be a face. They don't want that shit. I wouldn't want that shit. Because when I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, I'd be booing you too. Because you are a heel in my mind.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. All right.
That's my point.
All right, fair enough. I'm sorry.
You have
do you
your
get what I'm
Charlotte
trying to
haters,
say?
trust me. No, I get what you're trying to say. You have the one saying she's overrated. Trust me, I see that all the time.
Okay.
Those are the haters. But then you read other comments, but you realize, like, you just love to hate her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Okay.
There's a big difference.
Okay.
But Charlotte is better as a heel. I get you. When they tried to make her face when she first went on to SmackDown after the draft and everything, no one was buying that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, really? You gonna team up with Naomi and whoever else? We're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't gonna last that long. And it didn't. It lasted, what, 2 or 3 months?
Yeah.
And she was back heel again.
Okay. Let's go. Okay. So going back to the names. Okay. Bayley, I'll name her. I think she's a very good face. There's a reason she's been a face for so long before she did turn heel.
This one's interesting. I don't really know how I feel about it. Because at first, I really didn't like Bayley being heel because I was so used to face Bayley and I thought it worked.
Really? That's surprising, yeah.
No, really. I thought the gimmick she had was cheesy, but she pulled it off and it worked. Yeah. And she had the skills to back it up. So I could accept that. So when they turned her heel, I'm like, this is weird for me.
Yes, and that's how I felt with Sammy.
But, as of today, I buy Bayley as a heel. I'm like, okay, she actually pulled this off.
Yes.
And after her recent stint with Sasha, I'm like, well, damn.
Yeah. And see, that's why I'll add her to that list, because just like Sammy, I just personally prefer her as a face, but she also her heel character works really well. So yes.
So with me, like, I feel the same way with you and Sammy. I just prefer him as a heel because of my heel bias. When it comes to Bayley, I'm actually stuck on the middle of the fence. Like, I can buy both versions.
Okay.
Honestly, I could.
Okay.
I could, because, like, the face Bayley is the Bayley that I know.
Okay.
The heel Bayley is the one I'm getting to know. But if they turned her back face the way she was, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Okay. Becky Lynch. I think she works as both. I think she could pull both.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this. Okay. I don't see Becky Lynch ever being a heel. I think Becky Lynch has always been Becky Lynch. So even after her heel turn, that's what made her a much bigger face. So we haven't really seen heel Becky yet, in my opinion. Technically, we were supposed to.
Into NXT in 2015.
I didn't see any of that.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't watch any of that.
Okay.
To me, Becky is the female version of Stone Cold. You're supposed to be a bad guy, but oh shit, being a bad guy made you much even
better,
bigger good guy. Like, so I can't speak on Becky when it comes to that, because to me, Becky is still Becky. She just finally got what she deserved. Because let's look at it. When she turned on Charlotte that SummerSlam, what the company wanted was for her to get booed. And then what happened? The crowd went wild.
But I thought you can't go off a fan reaction.
No, you can't. But I'm not going off the fan reaction.
You up.
Yeah, no, I'm even going off my own.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, damn, it's about time you snapped and got your own. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's different for Becky.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's much different for Becky.
Fair enough.
We heel Becky. No one's ever hated Becky.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well,
even when they were supposed to.
The IWC now would disagree with you, because the IWC turns on everybody. But
well, we ain't thinking about IWC.
Yeah. Fuck the IWC. Anyway,
I'm speaking in terms of WWE. We have not seen heel Becky. We were supposed to, but that just made Becky more popular.
Yeah.
So.
And even if you think about it, she ended up turning back. They ended up doing a double turn with Charlotte being the heel and Becky being the face. So
yeah. They had no choice.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Going back to my point, people love to hate Charlotte, so it just made sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why their feud ended up being so amazing, because you got your yays, you got your boos, and they were very high instead of being split down the middle.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Of the main roster, who could I think? We'll make this one the last one. Iconics. Well, we haven't really seen babyface Iconics.
No, you know what though? No, we kind of have. Okay.
We have?
Not much. A little bit.
Okay, I haven't then.
Because here's the thing with Iconics. I think at points they became. I think at a point they became so entertaining that they were booked as heels, but they were looked at as faces.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. When was this though?
I would say earlier this year or later last year. No, they won the championships last year at WrestleMania, right? Yeah. Yes, they did. I would say
I've been trying to go back and forth and watching this shit. So I don't
No,
know.
I would actually say last year. I could see the Iconics pulling off both actually. Okay. Because while they were booked as heels, they were so entertaining, people just loved them. So I can see them being either heel or face. I can see you being like, oh my god, I love them, or oh my god, you're annoying and I hate you.
All right.
Or they fall under Charlotte, where you love to hate them. Mm-hmm. So I can see them doing both. Yeah.
Okay. Last non-current wrestler that will add to this list, Eddie Guerrero. For sure, he can pull off both.
Most definitely. Mm-hmm. Fuck, I feel bad. I forgot about him. Yeah. And he's our triplet. God, I'm sorry, Eddie.
Oh yeah. Alrighty.
Definitely Eddie Guerrero. Yes.
With that being said, let's get on to the next match.
It's the last one of the card too. Our triple threat main event: The Fiend, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns.
Okay.
This is the only match I actually haven't watched. It was playing, but I'm doing this, so I wasn't watching it. So.
Braun. Okay, this was it was a big hoss fight. I enjoyed it. The superplex where the ring breaks down that spot. Look, I'll say this much. That spot has not been done to death, but that's a spot that should have stayed, between one time. Once, twice. Should not have been duplicated multiple times. All right, after the Braun Strowman time that I hit with Big Show, and after this time, I'm just okay. No more. Nobody needs to be replicating this spot anymore. It's over. That's just one. Two, I do like that that Roman Reigns came at the end, very heelish, for him to sign the contract at the end and then insert himself into the match. And I do also like that he pinned Braun Strowman and not Bray Wyatt.
Word.
So I'm okay with that. Match itself wasn't anything special for me, personally. Wasn't my cup of tea. And I'm not saying that it was a bad match. It just wasn't... There wasn't anything that I was particularly entertained by. I know it was like a big hoss fight, but I just thought their SummerSlam match was so much better. So, yeah, that's all I got for that.
I mean, I wouldn't expect much out of it anyways, but I don't know. On 1 to 10, what would you give it?
This match?
Yeah.
A 7. It's a C.
Okay. So I guess the most important thing is, where do they go from here at this point with these guys? Obviously, Roman's going to be top dog. I mean, he has been for the past few years anyways.
Well,
so more importantly...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
He's currently feuding with Jey Uso right now. And so, Jey Uso...
I feel like that's a transitional feud.
Yeah. That's just to feed Roman...
Yeah.
Make him a top heel, destroy a member of his family, that type of whole ordeal. Which, okay, I'll be interested to see how that storyline goes. So, I do like stuff like that. Bray Wyatt, where does he go from here? Maybe just keep him away from the world title right now, because I don't personally want to see him lose to Roman Reigns.
I mean, I'm tired of them giving him the belt and then taking it away so quickly. So I feel like he's now becoming one of those characters that really doesn't even need the championship. Pretty much.
I don't like that.
I don't. He is the Sasha Banks of the men's heavyweight division. At this point, but I feel like he's gotten to a point where he actually even doesn't need the championship.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Keep him away from the WWE title, because he doesn't need it right now, and I don't want to see him lose cleanly or dirty to Roman Reigns. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see it. So I think you should just have him dominate Braun Strowman, keep that going, and then what else do you do? I don't know. Have him feud with anyone else. Finish this narrative with Alexa Bliss. I don't care, but keep him away from Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I just think keep him out of the title picture for right now anyways. You can help utilize him to help build up other people.
Yeah.
Even if they lose, it's Bray Wyatt, so...
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so that's going to conclude the Payback review. Overall, how would you grade Payback?
Between A, B, C, D, E, F, G...
Yes.
I'll give Payback a B.
A B? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll say a B minus, personally. I think it surpassed expectations, and I thought the matches were good. So yeah, a B minus. Fair
enough.
Let's see here. All right, let's get into the Iconics. Recently, they had a match with Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. Losing team has to split up. Okay. Personally, I don't think the quality of the match was what was important. I think the importance was the stipulation. So, the Iconics lost. Clean as a sheet. Look.
I'll be honest, I'm going to miss them, like, as a tag team. I really am. I really enjoyed them. They're very entertaining. I'm interested to see what happens with the split up. I wish they hadn't have split them up, but I think they left it open-ended. Because if you notice on Raw, they had a match one-on-one, And Peyton Royce, even though she won, she still hugged her afterwards. So I think if it doesn't work for them as singles competitors,
they might come.
They can always just go back.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hope they keep it that way between the two. But if that's the case, I say send Billie Kay to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm thinking too.
If Billie Kay stays on Raw, she's just going to get lost in the wind. Mm-hmm. If Peyton's going to get this push, send Billie to SmackDown and really keep it open for those two to get back together one day eventually. Mm-hmm. But if they stay together right now, nah. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I haven't seen the stipulation too much. I enjoyed it when I saw Booker T and Goldust. Not only that, but I've enjoyed it multiple times. Well, I'm enjoying it with this one, but honestly, I wish it wasn't to separate the Iconics. Now, if the idea is to push Peyton Royce, as rumors suggest, then okay, cool. Peyton Royce is a person who I think can be a top star in the women's division, either on Raw or on SmackDown. And same with Billie Kay. I'm not taking anything away from Billie Kay, but clearly Peyton Royce is the person that they're looking at. Peyton Royce is the person that, Vince McMahon is impressed with. So, I think personally both of them, they enjoyed it. They're both enjoyable to watch in the ring. And I know this because I saw their match on Raw. And I thought, wow, that was a really good match. So, with that being said, I guess I'm just announcing I'm keeping Peyton Royce. And I'm dropping Billie Kay, unfortunately. I hate to see her go from the roster.
I might pick Billie up depending on what happens. I'm trying to wait
You
to
have
see.
one last free pick. One last free trade.
I do, and I might use that tonight, actually.
Okay.
And it won't be on you, Billie Kay. I'm sorry, baby. I love you. I'll waste points for you. I just have to see what happens first, okay? If you go to SmackDown, honey, I got you.
Alrighty.
All in all, though, I mean, I'm 50-50 on the split of the Iconics. 50% of me is interested to see what happens. The other 50
is gonna miss them, and I'm gonna miss them too.
Yeah.
Personally, I did enjoy their act. Personally, that's an act I cared for. I know not a lot of people were fans of theirs, but I was.
Oh, here's the thing: they annoyed the shit out of me, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I loved to hate them. All comes back to that: love to hate.
Fair enough. But yeah. Okay, so let's where are we going into now?
The split up of Sasha and Bayley.
Yes. Okay, here's one that made sense to me. And I'll say like this, look. I think it made sense to me. I know a lot of people were expecting Sasha Banks. Personally, I'm glad. I'm one of them who expected Sasha Banks, but I'm glad Bayley was the one to turn, because if you think about it, Bayley has been the one who's been the dick in the relationship, in the friendship. She, in her match with Asuka, she's the reason Sasha Banks lost her title, right? In the tag team match, she's the reason Sasha Banks tapped, or she's the reason they lost the titles. Sasha Banks didn't tap. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, Bayley's the one that tapped.
Yeah. She's the reason they lost the tag titles. Sasha Banks lost all of her gold because of Bayley, and still, Sasha Banks goes on Raw and she heavily praises the fuck out of Bayley. That's a friendship right there. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, we've all been there where we have a friendship who, no matter what, they're being assholes, but man, you can't help but love them.
You're a ride or die.
Yeah.
Yep.
However, no matter what, unfortunately, these people can step all over you. And Bayley is the person who stepped all over Sasha. She used her. She was a dick. She put herself before Sasha multiple times. And so now, Bayley, of course, is going to be the one to betray Sasha, because if Sasha betrays Bayley, it's still going to be a narrative where Sasha is still the good guy, or should be the good guy, because Bayley has been the one constantly fucking up her life.
Not true.
Yeah.
See, with you explaining this now, it all makes sense. Like, I really didn't see that coming before. Because, like you, I thought Sasha was going to be the one to turn. But thinking about it, that was too obvious. Way too obvious. But I like the way they swerved it. I like the fact that Bayley is the one that turned on her.
Yeah. And
only because of that shock value. I was shocked.
Yeah, and like I said, I also thought Sasha was going to turn, but looking back on it, it only makes sense.
Yeah, that Bayley was the one to do it.
For Bayley to turn on Sasha, not the other way around. It makes better sense. So, yeah. So that's just my opinion. What's your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, yeah, I feel the exact same way you do. It makes more sense for Bayley to turn on Sasha. I think people are more keen to Sasha as a face, anyways. Even though I think she makes a better heel. But I think to most people she makes a better face. And I just hope this time, when Sasha returns and wins the championship, she gets the reign that she deserves. I'm sick of this woman winning this belt and losing it a month later. This has happened, 6 times now? So it's like...
You and I both know it's more than 6 goddamn times.
She's not a 7-time women's champ. It has to be 6. Yeah, she's not on Trish, Charlotte level.
She's probably a 10-time women's champion.
That would have been all over their social media. Nope.
She's probably a 10-time women's champion.
6 at the most. Look it up, people. 10. Yeah. That's more than Charlotte. No.
10.
No.
10.
No.
10. I'm just kidding. All right.
I miss you, Ty.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if I watch AEW, I wouldn't miss it, but I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. No, but honestly, what you said makes a lot of sense. I'm really excited about this feud. I think it dragged out a little too long, so I'm really excited. Yeah, way too long. So I'm finally excited. We got to that point that we all knew what's coming. So now let's see what's coming, and I hope you deliver. And I think they will. I think we're going to have another Charlotte-Becky feud, a Charlotte-Becky type of feud. So it's probably going to drag on for about 3 or 4 months, but hey, it's Sasha and Bayley, so I'm here for it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so last one. Last subject, and then we'll get into the results of month 1. Right. So, state of Keith Lee. Let's talk about Keith Lee. How do you feel about his role in WWE so far since the call up to the main roster? How do you feel like he's been treated? Do you feel like he's been treated good?
Honestly, I think he's been treated fairly so far. I mean, we'll take the music and the skirt out of the equation. But yeah.
I think he's been treated well. I
think so too. You've put him up with Randy Orton off the bat, and Randy has helped make him look like a star. Seriously. And Keith Lee really didn't need the help, but when you're in there with Randy Orton, it'll make you a superstar. So I think they're on the right track. I hope they keep that up.
Really helpful.
Yeah. No, seriously. So and that was in his first match against Randy Orton. I believe he won. So I think they're doing a good job. I hope they keep it up and not bury him, because they do have a tendency to bring up the top NXT stars, have them cool for about a year or so, and then do nothing with them. Like Finn Balor. That was wasting talent on the main roster.
Yeah. No.
So it's Aleister Black, I feel like, is wasted talent on the main roster. So I just hope Keith Lee doesn't get that same treatment. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just going to watch and see. I can't really predict anything good for him, only because of what I've seen from past NXT superstars and champions that have been called up. Samoa Joe, another one. So, I don't know. We'll see. But so far, I think they're doing good.
I think, personally, they're doing a great job with him. Off the bat, they had him win cleanly against Randy Orton, a top star. That already, you're on a good start. I do have one question though. That segment with Keith Lee and JBL, I still don't understand what.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was weird. Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know, but it was never followed up on. But regardless, that didn't even hurt. That didn't even hurt Keith Lee's character. It just felt weird.
That was Payback, right?
Yeah, that was at Payback.
Yeah.
However, I will say that other than the music, and the attire, Keith Lee's been treated well. I mean, just this Monday Night Raw, like he's the only person who I've seen actually counter the RKO by simply just standing there and not allowing Randy Orton to fully.
That was sick.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I like what they're doing with Keith Lee. Keep it up.
What would you do with him, or who would your dream opponent be for him after the Randy Orton feud?
Dream opponent? See, okay, what I would do, right, is have him feud against Drew McIntyre. If the idea is to take Drew McIntyre, or if the idea is to take the title off of Drew McIntyre. And I know that might be a little too early, but hear me out. People like him. I like him. He's a pretty badass dude. He's already catching the world by storm. He's pretty established. With that said, look, there is no shame in trying hot-shotting a guy to the world title picture. You know what? I know
done it before. Yeah, it's happened before.
Yes. And I know that might cause
Brock Lesnar.
I know that might cause fan backlash, but I don't give a shit. I think this guy can bypass that backlash because he's that liked.
Well, it worked for Brock Lesnar.
It worked for Brock Lesnar, but that was 2002.
Yeah. But
right
still,
now,
if it worked for Brock, it can work for Keith.
Yeah, and I know it can work for Keith, but you see, there's a bigger disadvantage for Keith, right? Because fans are more picky and fickle. However,
fans these days, you young folks.
Yes. And that's just what I want to bring to your attention. But I do think that Keith Lee is able to bypass that. I do
you think so?
Yeah, I think he can get past that backlash. If not, then okay. What you also can do, my dream opponent for Keith Lee. I mean, they released Brock Lesnar, so it's not going to be a thing for him. And I'm just talking strictly WrestleMania opponents for him. But that's so hard to pick. Cause I mean, there's only so many people who I want to see Keith Lee absolutely demolish.
Well, can I tell you my dream opponent for Keith Lee?
Go ahead.
As of right now,
give me some ideas.
As of right now, because of what is going on, I want to see Keith Lee versus Big E.
Big E.
I think that's a WrestleMania worthy match, whether there's a belt on the line or not. I think both are really talented.
You know,
I think it'd be a very good, solid man match. Like, dude, can you imagine Big E doing his spear outside the ring to Keith Lee? Keith Lee doing his shoulder buck, knocking Big E clear across the ring. Like, I think this match would be fucking incredible and fun to watch. Like, clear as day. I know it's random, but that's what I would like to see.
Okay, I have two names that come to mind. Right.
All right.
The first name is not going to be for a match spectacular. It's not going to be for a great match. It's not going to be a 5-star match.
More of a storyline telling match. Like,
yes, and it's more of a way to establish Keith Lee as a top guy.
Okay.
Right? Good. And I think a good name to put over Keith Lee...
Dolph Ziggler.
No, fuck you. A good name to put over Keith Lee... I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but Goldberg. You have Goldberg. Give Keith Lee a jackhammer and Keith Lee kick out at 1. I know it's not going to be a good match. It's not supposed to be. But Keith Lee defeating Goldberg, giving him the spear bomb 1, 2, 3. Tell me that wouldn't put over Keith Lee big. Tell me that wouldn't put him
I do not disagree with you. You know how I feel about Goldberg.
Yes.
But you're absolutely right. To be honest with you, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that would put him over big time.
Yeah. And actually, forget having him kick out at 1. Have him kick out at 3 at the very last minute. That would already give fans a heart attack. And then they see him kick out. Fuck. They're going to be surprised. Either way, I don't care.
Goldberg, I respect you, brother. I respect you enough for the business. Just not a big fan. But I agree with you. That would be a good one. For Keith Lee's career, it would be. Yeah.
Now.
If Keith Lee went over.
Yes. And
only
that's what I'm saying.
If.
Only if Keith Lee went over.
Yeah.
This is what I would do to put Keith Lee over. Not for him to lose. Yeah. Right?
And just put that bullshit on a Super Showdown, okay? Like, no main pay-per-view. Like.
Put it on a WrestleMania. Hey, that's the biggest show of the year. You're going to have a lot of eyes, right? Not just hardcore wrestling fans, but a lot of casual fans as well are going to be watching that.
Fine, SummerSlam.
Motherfucker, you're hard to compromise with. Fine, put it on a SummerSlam then. Shit.
No. Well, but okay, you know what? If it happened at WrestleMania, Keith Lee would have a huge WrestleMania moment. So
yes,
fine.
That's what I'm saying. And it could be what Braun Strowman didn't have at WrestleMania, and shouldn't have had either. By the way. Yeah. Anyway.
So who's number 2?
Number 2. All right. Now, this is much more for just a good match, not really for the storytelling, but because I know this would be a good match. Keith Lee versus Bobby Lashley. You have Keith Lee go over on Bobby Lashley. You just have a damn good match. I don't care. I know it's going to be a good match.
Especially with everything going on with the Hurt business right now, I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Keith Lee would be cool coming in as the muscle to help out, I guess you could say, Ricochet and Apollo Crews right now. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily going into a stable, but just being that backup, setting up that feud between him and Lashley. Actually, I think that would be a really good match.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Those are 2 solid choices.
Yeah.
I still stand by Big E. With the Survivor Series coming up, I can see a Big E versus Keith Lee, Raw versus SmackDown type deal. I think it'd be great with the momentum Big E has going on right now, as well as Keith Lee. I think it'd be a fun match to watch, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you had 2 really good picks. I'm down for that. I mean, I'm not a fan of Goldberg, but you made a good point. So yeah.
Okay. Now, I think that's going to wrap the show. We got match recommendation of the week. And then we're going to go. Oh, actually, what are the results for this month's Brand Warfare?
Oh, I didn't want to pull these up. But, folks, we actually finished month number 1 of Brand Warfare.
Time just flew.
It did. So let me go ahead and pull this up. This way. That didn't do what I wanted, but it's okay. All right, folks. So, leading month number 1 for the Brand Warfare would be Eddie Lynch.
Hey!
At 70. 84 points for the month.
What?
84 points for the month. And, of course, coming in second place would be moi. Coming behind... I don't even want to announce this. With 37 points.
God damn. I'm sorry.
So, to explain this to you people, to be fair, in our first 2 weeks, we had like 3 pay-per-views, okay? So this helped this man out a lot.
Damn right.
And also, I picked a lot of people that just happen to be feuding with each other right now. So, if I win, I lose. But that's it.
Yeah, the only bitch-ass one for me that I picked was Apollo Crews and the Hurt Business.
Yes, and I hope Apollo keeps feuding with them. It's
No.
not losing you much points, but especially when it comes to special matches, you may win 5, but you'll lose 1 because of Apollo. But at least you're still getting some points.
No. All right. Okay, let's see what else we got. Match recommendation of the week. Eddie, what you got?
Match recommendation of the week. Well, you know what? Since we brought up people wearing G-strings and thongs earlier, my match recommendation is going to be Goldust versus Rowdy Piper, WrestleMania 12.
Okay.
And the Hollywood backlot street fight that they had. It's not a Texas catch-as-catch-can match or classic wrestling match. It's a fun one to watch, though, because Roddy beats the shit out of Goldust. And the ending is really cool. And, like, there's an ode to the O.J. Simpson. Just watch it. It's fun. If you haven't seen it, it's fun to watch. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, WrestleMania 28. Fun match. Very good back and forth. These two had chemistry for days. All right. That's going to conclude the show, guys. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.
Thanks for watching. Please like, follow, subscribe.